So far, we have talked about creating the component, Angular component using the GitHub Copilot. We have also seen how we are going to create the HTTP service, Angular HTTP service. And followed by that, we have also seen how we are going to create the reactive components with the data validations. So we can conclude here that the GitHub Copilot provides us a better help for generating our code. So if you know the technology and if you are particular with your requirements, then GitHub Copilot is the best help for you. That's why it's called as a pair programming. Now, one of the advantage of Angular is that being technology that supports components, we very frequently needs to create reusable components. We will have to do that. This reusable components, we should be able to use it that wherever we want to use it. For example, let's say we want to create a table to show the data, like customers data, employees data, products data, orders data, like that. So this is an HTML table and you want this table to be reused across various components. So there are two ways of doing that. Number one is you should create the table every time, or otherwise you should create a reusable component which will have input properties, right? We know that at input, at output, right? These are the directives which are being provided to us, right? Or rather, decorators, not directives, sorry. Decorators, those are provided to us, and then we can make a use of these decorators to set the behavior for the properties. So, for example, if we want to send the data from parent component to the child component, we use at input, and if at all we want to emit the data from child to the parent as an output, we use an event emitter, and then we use at output on it, right? So we know this. So can we have such a component created? Okay. So again, let's take a help of the GitHub Copilot over there. So let me just get rid of some of the code and then I'm going to put something here. So I'll say that generate a code to create. Okay. Generate a code to create a component, right? In Angular that will have reusable HTML table that will accept any model and generate HTML table columns and rows based on properties from the model, right? Okay, I'll say that also this component should emit selected row value to the parent component, right? Or I should say row value as output using event emitter, right? So this is what the instruction that I'm giving here, and then let's see that. So here we have the dynamic table that is generated. It has input and output. See that here. So it is having an input decorated property data as well as the event emitter output. Okay, we have that, right? And then have a look over here is that like whatever the data that we are, it's an array type of any array of the type any, because parent may have any type of data that has been passed to it, and then what it is doing is that it is reading the 0th record from that. This will give the keys, right? And then based upon that, what is going to happen is that headers and rows will be generated. Correct. Also, we have the output that is on event emitter, and then we have the method on select, and it is emitting the data. Okay, so this has been passed or bind to the row of the table using the event binding. This is what is it. So we do have the sophisticatedly generated data over here, right? That's what the thing is. So now again, what I'm going to do is that in my app, I'm going to add a folder, maybe reusable components. I'll say new file here. Okay, or what I'm going to do is that I'm going to basically generate a component over here. I'll say that dynamic table. Okay, right. So this is what is it? Fine. And okay, what I'll do is, right, let me go over here. I'm gonna get rid of this, and then I'm gonna use it into the editor. Right. So this is what is it? Right. I'm also having the HTML file over there, dynamic table over here. So since it's generated code, so some nomenclature are different, right? You can manage that. So I'll say // here HTML. Okay, as well as the CSS. Correct. And into this HTML, I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, and then over here, this is what that HTML is, which I'm going to put it here. That's it. So this is the way that how we can do is we can even generate a reusable component. Okay, very important. Okay, right. So we have this creation of the reusable component with the GitHub Copilot. Again, you should know the technology. Means you should know the Angular, because you should know that input and output, the event emitter, all the things that you must be having the good knowledge of it. And then make use of the GitHub Copilot, because this is the code that will be generated from the repositories. Right. Of course, mostly the code is gonna be correct, but if you need to make changes into that particular code, you should be knowing the technology better. Okay. Well, thank you guys. Thanks.